Hello, and welcome to a Fallout 76 episode. Well, here I am again trying to build the perfect port-a-fort for nuclear winter. I've had very little success blueprinting larger pieces and more complex ones, so what I'm going to have to do is build it piece by piece, adding to it, taking it into nuclear winter, and seeing if it will place. So this is the first section. I'm having problems placing when there are staircases. So I've built a very simple 2 sets of stairs with platforms and a little narrow T-shape at the top. So I need to test this immediately before I build anything else, because I'm getting warnings that it can't be dropped because it's missing flooring pieces, etc. So I don't know what's going on. It's been extremely frustrating, but let's zip into nuclear winter. This is my favorite place to drop, right here at the 6 o'clock position on the map, because it's a little bit remote and I know there's a good supply of weapons as soon as I drop. The disadvantage is I usually have to run halfway across the map before the circle closes in, but hopefully I'll have enough time to get the camp dropped. And there's one person next to me. Let's see how this goes. So basically, the location on the map is the edge of Wade Airport, just outside Charleston. And I like this spot just down the hill here because there's a number of train cars that are filled with a number of the loot chests. And it placed really easy. Perfect. I'm just going to make sure that all the pieces are there. It's basically a very small, narrow construction. I'm going to get rid of those 2 mesh pieces on the sides. I want to make it a narrow front door opening so the people climbing up do not have anywhere to go. So let's just run downhill real quick, check in some of these train cars and see if I can find a weapon or 2 before I run across the map. Uh-oh, somebody's already been here. Going to check these cars, maybe get a mutation. Gonna check this last car. I always have good luck down there. Oops, I don't think so. Yeah, not a good day. Can't blame me for trying. The intent of the section 1 worked fine. Obviously, I lasted a massive 3 minutes 20 seconds, but I gained 50 XP, so I'm well on my way to getting level 10, where you get the really cool Vault 51 Overseer's chair. Then there's a couple of sets of perk cards. Number 11, where it shows the weapon, is a weapon skin paint, so it's not an actual weapon. So let us journey back to adventure mode. I'll show you the second piece that I added on, and then we'll take that again back in to make sure that it's all working and that it's within the blueprint budget. So I went ahead and finished part 2 of the build, and that is adding that little section, what looks like a little room, off to my left. And it gives me a good vantage point to shoot somebody in the back standing on the platform. And I left it very narrow. Now, the trick to doing it is, imagine one of these large floor blocks divided in 4. And the walls, there's one of them right there. The small wood floors. Now, when you go to add a wall, on the large surfaces, it won't go to that middle line. It wants to go to the outside of it. But if you use the narrow blocks, the little, we'll call them 12 by 12 pieces or tiles, when you use the smaller blocks, it allows you to snap it right on the edge. So you have a nice claustrophobic narrow hallway that only one player can fit down. So let's go ahead and blueprint this and take it back into Nuclear Winter and see if it places. I'm just checking the shading on that wall piece. Even though it's flipped, it can sometimes look like it has not been selected, and I've had issues with the whole blueprint selection where you select the entire structure. Sometimes it doesn't work, so I have to go in and click on each individual piece and then add it to the blueprint. So it actually is working today. I don't know if it's because I dropped the camp so many times, but and it glitched out. There were so many issues yesterday. Today is a good day. So there's part 1. And you can see part 2 pop up. It has that little section on the left. So I'm sure it's going to place, but I'm just going to take it in a little piece at a time and make sure there's no issues. And let's take it back into Nuclear Winter mode and see how it does. Back to my same spot here at Wade Airport. Just going to go a little bit further towards those train cars so I can drop literally right on them. And yes, I did notice when I played back the video that first dropped, there was a suit of power armor off to my right. They are very loud, very clunky, and as you can see in one of these clips, you don't last very long in power armor. Whoa, good thing I'm not at Camp McClintock. I would not last more than 30 seconds there. There must be 20 people there. Going to be a bloodbath. Okay. Yes, I managed to get closer to the train cars. Going to go ahead and grab a few weapons. This way, if there's somebody in one of these train cars, I at least have a fighting chance with a melee weapon right now. And no, the large chest is not there, but I can see a smaller one over here. Shotgun, that'll do. And more wood armor. Okay. I sure miss having marsupial, I tell you. Sometimes hanging out by that little irradiated train car will give you, you know, whoa, am I ever far away from the circle? I kind of have to move a little quick. And I still have to have time to drop this camp and make sure that it places very well, even amongst all these trees. Looks great. It looks complete. And no time to wait. Oh, right. I wanted to see, let me drop a few barriers. I know if you dropped 10 or 20 of these, I've done it once before. I ended up with a good set of, a new set of perk cards. So dropping your camp, dropping some guard posts, anything to get a new pack of perk cards. Ooh, I wonder if you can get... no. I don't know why they give us these items like beds and water pumps and things. I know that you can't access any of them. Actually, I was curious about that because I was using it as a ladder to climb up out a window. So, yes, you can do those. There aren't any traps or turrets that you can use that are in your build menu. You can get walls and turrets. They're a one-time use and cannot be moved once you drop it. And you find those along the way in stash boxes like these. And we're down to 33 people. I just saw a flash of red. I don't know if it's another player or an animal or creature. A ghoul or something. I think it was another player. And I have to chance it because I have that circle moving in and I need to move to safety. This is really a lot of fun. It can be a little stressful and heart-pounding at times, but it's a nice change from playing the game in adventure mode. It's much different than survival mode. You don't lose caps, you don't lose anything from adventure mode at all. So, oh, there's somebody. Well, at least I got a couple of hits on him. The more I play, the more relaxed about playing PvP I feel. And I know that place up there, it has all those cabins. There's usually a lot of loot and therefore a lot of other players. So I'm just going to steer clear of that and sort of run along the road. The roads are really good places to find some of those loot crates. So also having a good headset with the footsteps slider turned up quite loud, so it's rather deafening, so you can hear when somebody's approaching you. I'm just on the edge of the zone here. Just try and find a flat spot to drop the camp again. I still have not added the pieces off to this side yet, but I don't want to leave that side open, so I'll just drop one little piece here. I know the metal can take a lot more damage than the wood, but it's just fast. It popped up in the menu quickly, and time is very important. Whoops, there was something down there. I saw red. I think it's an animal. Whoop, two things. Oh. Ah, he got me. I should have ducked away. Well, at least I got him a couple of times in the back. And at least I know that that design works really well. And also I have to get rid of those little edge pieces that stick out. Okay, so part 2 works really well. And here is the clip. His health is generating up. He's at about half in power armor. And he's down. Power armor isn't always the greatest. Like I said, very noisy unless you can get one of the better sets. And honestly, I don't know what's available right now in the game. So let's go back for the last time, back to the adventure mode, and make our final build. And also blueprint it. Here I am doing the blueprint process, and you can see the other wing of the fort. I made this one not as long as the other one I brought it in a little bit just to give a different vantage point for anybody that is shooting out from that area. Take a quick look. And there it is. I've also placed these concrete barriers within the blueprint so I can just pick them up and slide them over to block this doorway. Wrong door. So I can easily slide that so they can't come running around the corner very quickly. I've got one to block the door. Now I had marsupial, so that's how I managed to jump over. And also with the entire fort being so narrow, the grenades are just basically exploding above me, and they get tossed right over the edge because it's such a narrow build. It actually worked. Okay, our third and final trip in. It's always a little exciting to see how many people are going to end up near you or nearby places. Camp McClintock was pretty full. We'll know in 3 seconds if I'm going to have a lot of other players around me. No, that's easy. Wow. Camp McClintock last time had like a huge cluster, now 1 person. It's just, look at Helvetia. Helvetia to the upper right must have had a cluster of 20 people also. It's just luck. Sometimes you land in it and you're alone, and other times you land and it's filled with people and you're dead immediately. I prefer just finding a quiet spot, making my way through, and then let everybody else fight it out and try to survive until the end. So let's see how we do this time. And that works perfectly. You know what's really interesting? So many build issues, it managed to clip and stay right into the side of that tree. It never gave me a warning about it at all. So I think I found the fort that, oh boy, and the large crate is available. Sorry, medium crate. And we got ourselves... Gatling gun is okay. It does a lot of damage, but it's very slow. I'm going to take a look over there by that power pylon or 2 as I'm running by. No, you can't mine anything, and any buildings that you normally could get into are locked up and you cannot get in. Take all of that. Just making sure I have enough ammunition. And there's another crate up there. I'll show you what the quick wall is. It literally is a one-time use object, so use it when you need it. I'm just going to demonstrate really quickly. I want to see how much time I had there. The quick wall literally is one wall piece. Once you drop it, you cannot move it. Just going to try to find a spot to drop it to show you what it looks like. Oh, missed that bobblehead too. Oh, and there's an animal up here. If you don't have a lot of time to get across the map, try to kill as many AI as you can to get the experience points. It really helps to rank up your overseer rank. There, kill creatures. So there's a new set of perk cards. I'm trying to stay away from the Great Gorge Bridge. That place is incredible for the amount of people that run across it. There's a lot of loot up there, and in the little rooms. There's terminals you can hack for limited loot or loot choices. That was the quick wall that I dropped quickly. Just one wall. Now when you get to your camp, you can build unlimited amounts of walls and then just drop them off. Oh, there's a ghoul. I want to get credit for this one. And stim packs. They work differently in this mode also. If you use it and are continuing to take health damage, it will stop working. So use it carefully. I know it's difficult. We're also used to using a stim pack as soon as we're taking health damage, but it will not work the same. Just going to change up weapons here. Let's try the submachine gun. And another stim pack and a valuable frag grenade. So let's drop the camp the last time. Right here. I'm getting the hang of dropping it quickly and getting it all set up. Going ahead and moving the concrete barrier. Just have to make sure I can get past it. Blocking this side again. This is actually a lot of fun doing all the planning. And that is exactly why I'm not at the main doorway. It's almost like a lure.
Many candidates initially seem quite promising. This was not one of them.
One down. I can hear... Well, another grenade coming in. This is so stressful, but it's still a lot of fun at the same time. Well, the fort was a success. I just have to remove these two small pieces. As you can see, when this player came back up the fort, he managed to hop over to those two little small pieces that jut out. Now, I don't know if it was a marsupial thing, but they're definitely coming out, and then I have to re-blueprint. But I ended up with about 203 XP and placed 9th. So that was a lot of fun. Thanks for bearing with me for what is actually for me a rather long video. Hopefully you found something useful that you can take into Nuclear Winter. Thanks for watching, and see you out in the world. Because now there's more than one.